watch The Walking Dead.
JK Transport.
Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. Who do you think he was talking
in bathing suit season? No, moving season. More.
Do you understand how accurate his time was to ours?
On election night 2016,
Soon,
President
me,
Barack
many of
Obama
us
called Donald Trump
will be
about
in
3 o'clock
isolation
in the morning to
areas.
congratulate him.
Maybe
You know,
even
Mr.
camps,
Trump hit
most likely.
in Washington.
Unless, of course, you have the ability to isolate without anything from the outside world. Because that might be the only way you'll be able to survive it. Without
leaving your house.
being made to do what they want you to do. Slavery.
So you're saying
You
there's a way to survive. So he's saying there's a way to survive.
Where we are today. Well, there's no American figure that I admire.
Thanks, Obama. Appreciate it.
What's that? Who told you to wear a mask?
Wash your hands, don't be a dirtball, wear a mask.
You got to take count how many people go in. What's the limit?
741.
741? 741 people? Okay. How many so far?
450.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's perfect. 450. Thank you.
There are quite a few people here that are in the house. It's growing. 450. I think that titles like this, the war,
even make that stuff up. You can't make that stuff up.
Heaven is not going to get a bunch of QAnon people. It's going to get people that are paying attention to something that most aren't. And when I say most, I mean literally most. Most. Folks, we're an anomaly. The entire thing, and if I have to edit it out later, I will. Make this a little larger.
For the last few days, I have, and I think you feel the same, had a gut punch. And I've been trying to put my finger on it, and I've been trying to figure out what to say to you and how to say it.
Just read your script.
And I think I just have to say it like this. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I am worn out. I am fed up. I've had enough.
Me too.
I am tired
So am I.
of exposing corruption.
I'm sick of it.
Doing our homework.
Finding, going over seasons, having documents translated
to make sure they're exactly right.
Exactly right.
Presenting the evidence, we know what's happening, except then once we expose it, nothing happens. Nobody goes.
I'm so
to jail.
sick of it.
Nobody
I'm so
pays
tired
for
of it.
a damn thing anymore. Nothing.
I know.
If you and I did half the things that people in Washington
Right.
do every day, you and I would go to prison.
We are going to prison. I am.
Clinton got away with it. Even the left knew that the Clinton Foundation was dirty. They sold uranium to our biggest enemy, Russia.
Did.
Nothing.
Nothing.
She can take
Just,
confidential, top
I know.
secret emails and put them on
Are
her
you so
server
upset?
at her home.
Yeah, I know.
We would go to prison for. We would be in prison for the rest of our lives.
That's the whole
Not a
plan.
big deal.
As soon as that second 9/11 happens, Robin's off to prison.
No. Not only did we show you that we were gun running to a group in Syria,
So mad
that
and
became
fed up.
ISIS, that's what we were doing in Benghazi. Not only that, but just the killing of a U.S. ambassador, and might I point out on veteran.
We all banded our troops. Anything happen? No. Nope. Mm-mm. Nothing. Nothing. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of actually being open and saying, okay, let's look at the spying in my campaign. That's a pretty hefty charge. Are they doing it? And then finding out, yes, they were, and nothing happened. he was colluding with Russia. My gosh! That should be the biggest scandal of all time. If it was true, if it wasn't true, and if it was started, and evidence, some paperwork that showed him. Oh wait, I should wear a mask. You think that would be even a bigger story? Lying to the Pfizer courts, nothing. Creating enemies list, nothing. Using our intelligence agencies to assist in this operation, spending millions of dollars on a claim they knew was not true. The collusion, they knew it was before the president was even elected. The scandal, the loss of billions of tax dollars in Ukraine, no big deal. The lies and the collusion with the Obama administration in Ukraine, no big deal. Hunter Biden, forget about Burisma, what was it, $7 billion? Who cares? Look at Hunter Biden and his father in China. Oh, but we don't have any proof of that. Yes, we do. We have all the proof anyone that cares to be honest needs. We have all the documents, all this freaking laptop, which have been verified.
For people that were working with him,
Glenn said frickin'.
who were Democrats that had those same emails on their computer. Nothing. The scandal of our Justice Department, the deep state, which I didn't believe in 4 years ago. My gosh, you've got to be dead and probably voting in the last election if you don't see the deep state. The corruption of our media telling us to deny our own eyes. There's a
car on fire.
They're like, oh, nothing.
There's a car on fire. Nothing's behind you. Look behind you. You're not supposed to notice that. Good has been made evil. Evil has made good. And it's Derek saying, I ask you now, don't believe your own eyes, believe us. Our country is being torn apart at the streets by radicals who are marching with no Trump, no Biden, no America signs. But don't worry, it's just another piece of fruit. Really? Our children are being indoctrinated with all kinds of crap, telling them that they're racist because of the color that they were born with. And the teachers?
Unions completely out of control. The lies of Black Lives Matter, Inc. And no one seems to care. No one seems to care that Black Lives Matter is actually a corporation. That Black Lives Matter, on their own manifesto, said they wanted to destroy the nuclear family. But that's all fine. Antifa? No. They're not wild in the streets. That's only an idea. Yeah, kind of like Nazism was an idea. But yet, if you
I
support
love the
the
passion in your acting.
If you just say, I want a fair and legal count, you're a radical.
Glenn Beck.
You're an anti-government zealot. I've had it. I've had enough. I almost didn't make the show last week. Because this is what I wanted to say to you. Except it would have been followed with, so see you later.
No, it wouldn't have been.
You know how hard this is? I know you do because
to pretend that you have emotions when
hard
it
it is
just
to
isn't
know
really a
this
real
stuff,
thing.
to be able to prove this stuff, and yet nobody seems to care. You're the bad
See,
guy.
that right there,
And
my
then
friends, is the theme of my video earlier, which is no matter what you do, you can't prove anything. That's why it'll make people sick when Trump loses and the inauguration happens. When Trump gets in office, Biden, today's November 11th. November 16th. 2020, 9/15. When Biden gets inaugurated and Trump shows all this evidence, overwhelming amount of evidence, nope, nothing. It makes people super sick, disgustingly sick, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because, well, there's nothing you can do about it. This is what's supposed to make you sick in these last days. And authority has been given over because, the Son, God doesn't judge anybody. He leaves that for the Son. It's true. In heaven, on earth, the Son is what judges everybody. But on earth, as it's being played out, as God of the earth, who lives up in heaven, thou art in heaven, Lord, Lord of heaven on earth, lives above us. I think that's where his land actually is. It's above us. It's up in the lands of, well, Derek can tell you. He knows where it's at.
Who told you that word is bad? And what
The dictionary did, I think.
kind of paradigm do you live in?
Oh, apparently we live in. So here's the flat Earth above us, and then we're in the concaved area, and then it's like a double snow globe, but right here is is our sky. So just imagine this is a laser technology from one end to the other, and it just beams, images. And there's a simulating sun, because we live in a binary system. There's a simulator, and then there's a real sun, and there's a simulating sun. So the simulating sun on Earth is the Son of God, the God of the earth, the Father of the earth. So he has a son that's going to represent him that you're going to see has an astronomical amount of power, has these premonitions, these prophecies. All of a sudden, things are going to start happening according to his will, and it'll all be lawless. It's all lawlessness and gaslighting the world. Keep in mind that Jonathan Click, he would like to he wants to keep you aware of certain things that happen on the planet and certain things that won't happen. So there's things that you're expecting, there's other things that there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta wait it out. But there's a lot of promises for certain people. They were promised, to destroy the fruit of the tree that's in the middle. They were looking to destroy that tree that's in the middle. And it's the tree of life.
The tree for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse.
So he showed me a pure river of water, of water of life, clear as crystal. So there's nothing like in front of it, covering it. There's nothing hiding behind it. What you see is exactly what you're hearing. What you see, what you hear, it's all true. Might not be right, but it's all true. So it proceeds out of the throne of God and of the Lamb, in the midst of the tree, in the midst of the street of it, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there a tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruit, and yield their fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Every single month there's fruit. Every month. Which means every day there's fruit. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. They shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. So his name, what's his name? It'll be in their head, they'll know. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads, and there shall be no light there, no night, and they need no cattle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
God and the land shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. Sounds great, doesn't it? No more curse. Remember this? I just showed it to you. Up, down. What did I show you the word up is in Greek? Ana. What's the word down? Kata. Jesus is up. Satan is down. Light is up. Dark is down.
And men shall seek death, and death shall flee from them. When you're told...
Okay, so before I play it, now remember all these things. I'm going to play the thing all the way through. Ian means gift from God. Kelly means female warrior. Mika Kelly means the same thing, female warrior as well. So he's willing to take the deal. Neither shall you touch it. The word in the Bible has the God said, you shall not eat from any of the trees of the garden. And the woman said, we shall eat from any of the trees except for the tree in the midst of the garden. You shall not touch it. Lay with a woman, lest ye die. He's going to go to a bachelorette party with a bunch of bachelorettes. What do you think a guy going to a bachelorette party might be doing? Yeah.
Hanging out.
Okay. Okay, so before I play it, now remember all these things. I'm going to play the thing all the way through. Ian means gift from God. Kelly means female warrior. Mika Kelly means the same thing, female warrior as well. So he's willing to take the deal. Neither shall you touch it. The word in the Bible has the God said, you shall not eat from any of the trees of the garden. And the woman said, we shall eat from any of the trees except for the tree in the midst of the garden. You shall not touch it. Lay with a woman, lest ye die. He's going to go to a bachelorette party with a bunch of in the midst of the garden. You shall not touch it. Lay with a woman, lest ye die.
You're also not going to touch the tree of life in the midst of the garden. If you lie with a woman, the same woman you laid with is lying to you. And you're getting set up. So the abomination of desolation, it takes 1290 days in order for it to get set up. And it takes, if there's a blessing that is 1,335 days. But from the time that the regular sacrifice is abolished and the abomination of desolation is set up, there will be 1,290 days. But blessed is he who waits to the 1,335th day. November 27th, Friday, evening, morning, 2020. From the first day that I started. Let's see if there's a blessing on this day. You know, even getting locked up for predicting what they were going to do, whether I was here or not, the second 9/11 in Philadelphia, still going to be a blessing. Because that's the beginning of it, right there. That would be the beginning of it. Well, you know, you got Friday, you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I remember Kleck saying Batcat disappeared on Thursday. But Wednesday, in the midst of the week, in the midst of the week, 2020, so Thursday is the 26th, Thanksgiving. 26-16, down dynasty. 26th. 26 is when Kobe Bryant signed his deal and went up as the bride of Christ, because you have to be a bride of Christ in order to get up there. So this is the whole thing. It's a beheading of your second head being beheaded. But when John the Baptist was beheaded, it was the king wanted his head. Well, he wanted his thoughts, his brain. Keeps bouncing out in and out of the light.
Then a word is bad. How about your actions? The person that'll tell you, well, you said a bad word, lives a life of horrendous actions against others.
And he would know that too, because he has the ability to watch everybody on the planet. I don't even think he would deny that.
He's going to go to a bachelorette party,
especially
with a bunch of
at this
bachelorettes.
point.
What do you think a guy going to a bachelorette party might be doing?
Grocery store.
Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
around produce. Like, that's like, yeah, you're supposed to watch it, but still, it doesn't really make you feel much better knowing somebody actually small goes on there, whether they're sick or not. I don't think you need to be sick to wear them.
But again, that could be me as well, according to other interpretations, because I am not an actor. I made myself an actor, but I don't actually act for anybody, and I haven't signed anything, and I don't receive anything. Report.
I'm starting to see it now as more of like a common courtesy, so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wash your hands, don't be a dirtball, wear a mask.
Hey, Ian, can I ask you a question? So when the vaccines come around, what do you think? What do you think about getting tested? Do you think that's a good idea? To just voluntarily get yourself tested? That way, because there's an algorithm, there's a software program set up. Do you think it's a good idea to get tested? And do you think it's a good idea to get the vaccine? And are you going to get the vaccine when everything is shut down and that's the only way that you can buy or sell? Or do you not have to do that already because all this is reserved for you?
Hatred in their heart. What? Think about that. What makes that word bad? Other than someone telling you shouldn't say it.
They wrote the Bible.
The hell is wrong with
Think
this
about
world?
that. They wrote the Bible, and whether stuff was taken out of the Bible, added to it, subtracted, they know exactly if it was or if it wasn't. And they've been born for this to fulfill Scripture at the very end. As God, right here, the Father, this is God, the Father, according to the, the straight up, the world, the earth. And then Mother Goddess, Eve, Mother Goddess.
Willing, right here. Now, and when you watch this, I'm going to play the commercial.
Twins.
That's why Robert De Niro, when he was at one of those stupid awards programs, he puts his arms up like that and he says, "F Trump," because see, they are that. That is their identity. They serve the Egyptian gods. We serve the Lord God, the God of our fathers, God of Jacob, Israel. See who Robert De Niro serves? This is who Robert De Niro serves. See who Arnold Schwarzenegger serves? This is who Arnold Schwarzenegger serves. Why do you think Ian's at a party and everyone's a twin? Why do you think Don Cheadle got in the elevator dressed identically to him after he's willing, after Kelly says, "Hey, if I give you this Bud Light, are you up for whatever happens next?" He was given a choice. He touched it. He said, okay, he took the deal. The word Kelly means female warrior.
I was saying.
You know what the Bible says in the end of the world in Daniel 12? There shall be a time of trouble, female rival. I'll share it to you right now. Then I'll play the Bud Light commercial. Watch this. Bud Light. Let's do Daniel 12 first. Ready? I don't want to get some kind of a...
So this is not what you think it is. It's not who you think it is. It's not, unless you already know, then it's not a big surprise to you. But this is, the name of the character is Taylor Swift. Real swift move, Taylor.
Taylor Swift issue here. Hang on. Okay, so I encourage you to watch Taylor Swift, Ready for It, and pay very close attention to the lyrics. This is the other race of beings telling you what they're going to do, and it also that they know. Watch. If he's a ghost, then. But if he's a ghost, then. But if he's a ghost, then I can be a phantom. So if he's a ghost, then, like, think of the Holy Ghost, I can be a phantom holding him for ransom.
It just makes me think of every single actor, singer, movie star, everybody that might have a different look to the males have certain looks to them, females have certain looks to them, and then some of them, if you just put a wig on, you might not be able to tell unless you have this, but if you shave this clearly, you might not know.
Holding him for ransom because we have to be ransomed. I mean, you couldn't even think of what I'm showing you right now. You couldn't even think this.
Yes, you can. Yes,
but
you
if
can.
he's a ghost, then I can be a phantom. Oh, you mean like
who told you
Genesis
to wear a mask?
1. I can be a phantom.
All right, they go there.
How you doing?
Holding him for ransom. Because we all have to be ransomed.
741
Let's
people.
make man in our own.
How many so far? Oh, okay.
Phantom
Wow,
image. Phantom
You
right
can't
there.
make that up.
A phantom.
Like, that's impossible to make up because they weren't expecting me to ask them to count, because she didn't say anything about not entering to the store without a mask, which is, yeah, it's a good thing that Walmart does it, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. But for 450 people to be there, and just right off the top of her head, I can see if it was like set up. Or excuse me, sir, you're a 450 person walking in? Because how do they know I'm going to ask them a question? They don't. So it just, and then as soon as I asked it, I mean, it was literally written right there, perfect. Boom, 450. And then you go in and it doesn't look like 450 people. That's because they're in the basement. Obviously, there's armies already surrounding everywhere. As soon as they need to get up and go, that's where they're going to go. Poor Robin. I mean, he thinks, that they're going to be on his side in the end, but they're going to beat the piss out of him and torture him to death. So, but no need to be, no need for anything at all to make you say these words right here. Nothing at all.
Like laying there sick, and that's what scares me, is if that's what scares me. That's what scares me. That's what scares me.
If you're scared about anything these days right now, you're not fit for anything to be in a commanding kind of a ordeal. If something scares you, especially a virus that remember how when you were a kid you would you would play make believe, like you would pretend that you're somebody over here and you would pretend that that person over there is like somebody else. You would just make believe and pretend, and then you grow up and you realize that's all make pretend. And then at certain times you'll have people that'll say, no, it's definitely. But at other times, like, nah, it's all really, really, really real. And then it's like, nah, not. It is, it isn't. It can be, it can't be. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't.
Is if that's what scares me, is if they created it, then that means that there's most certainly more to come. And I've even heard the news saying stuff like,
I've even heard in my ear,
So,
the Father's in front of you.
I'm going to show you what
And the
corruption
sound
is.
is
And make
behind
no
you.
mistake about it, when you see this, I'm just going to show you,
It's going to get
but I've
bad,
got
people.
more coming to show you.